Woohoo! All right. What's up, guys? So we just finished session 94 of Materia D&D, where we played D&D our way, and it just happened to be our 2 year. Um, and actually didn't even plan it to fall on the 2 year where we completed the most complex, insane story that I think any of us have ever been a part of. So, I'm giving this as an opportunity for my players to ask me questions, and I will answer to the best of my memory of all the things that they may have encountered or missed or sequencing that I thought or anything from session 1 to 94. So I'm assuming most of the questions will be about Green Hill, but we'll see what happens. So whatever you guys got. And I will start with this. You guys did a lot of things in orders that I never expected.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what I was gonna ask. Is like the established kind of canon order, your head canon order, like. So we get to Green Hill,
Hmm.
and then I think the first thing we did was Amara took us to Deeproot, right? Like
Hmm.
that wasn't like
Yep.
exactly a
First thing
railroad,
you
but it was like pretty obvious like intro.
So the first thing actually was dealing with the mob daggers, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
The mob daggers, if for some reason y'all would have wanted to investigate or go further into why is there this massively oversized crocodile
Right.
that's not like from here, you would have potentially run into the blonde hag, the Fellwater hag first.
Yeah. So did she have a name?
It was
Like, I mean, I'm sure they all had
yeah,
names.
they all had names. I
Like,
would
what
have
was
to look
her
it up.
title, if you will? Like, so we had the Bone Hag, we had the Giant Hag, we had the Harvest Hag, we had
She was the Fellwater hag. She was the one
Fellwater.
that was corrupting the waters.
Gotcha.
So they all had a purpose. Uh, some were more obscure than others,
So
but
literally, we skipped the first tag. If I'm hearing that right?
We did speedrun,
uh,
baby, which is sad because it took us
I,
50
I,
episodes.
I,
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you skipped her. It's just you took another path,
Okay, okay.
right? And
I'm hearing
like
yes.
basically the the um the allure of traveling to a really freaking spooky place was more interesting, I guess, than investigating what was immediately happening. And you actually ran into her when Leslie was with you guys.
Interesting.
She was one of the ladies in um, Misty Bridge Quarter, the north portion.
Yeah. Well, so remind me what was happening there again. Like,
Wow.
kids and pets were going missing
Kids
or
and
something.
pets were going missing, and that was because the vermin were feeding on them, and
Uh,
the Bellwater hag was feeding them um, to her critters. So both of the hags were just feeding their respected armies. I don't know what you want to call them. They're not armies. They're they're things.
they're broods.
Yeah. So and then Seb had an inkling of something going wrong, but he had never had an idea that it was anything with hags, and that's why he established the Grot Guard because he thought it was more underbelly people doing shit, and he was just trying to intervene against the thieves guild and stuff like that. But it proved to be actually much more than he thought. So that's why the brown coats, aka the Grot Guard.
So were the face spiders from the vermin hag?
The phase spiders were an example of the chaos taking hold in one of the potions. That when Lionel was messing with the potion, because that's what he was originally
Right.
set to do. Um, the some regular spiders got into the potions, and that caused them to transform into phase spiders.
Hmm.
So kind of like a loose interpretation of how they come to being, but it kind of was the bridge to start getting y'all introduced to the ethereal plane or here between. Um, but yeah, essentially my mind was probably not deal with, but realize that there's something weird in the water, and then I don't know, go from there. Really, that's what I was thinking. But hey, it worked out beautifully.
Hmm.
What else? Corbin, got anything? Or anyone?
Uh, my main one was gonna be about the water hag actually.
Hmm.
Sushi. Rex Regretto says the sushi was delicious. He wants to know more about the chef.
Okay. So I guess. mm, So all hags come from one matron, right? She was the original, and uh, the draw to bring her back is kind of what got all these different covens one established and put together. And the these covens, hags don't necessarily like each other, but they tolerate each other to work with one another. However, they've been with each other for so long because this has been decades and decades in the working that they, did become to actually kind of care about one another. And that's why they would get kind of enraged or furious when you dealt with one of them, right? So, Motor Hag, um, I do need to find her name. I don't remember where I put it.
Blondie.
Um, yeah, I used to like legitimately. I used to remember everything because it was,
I mean, I
you know,
remember Loki, Amy, and Bergie.
you know,
Or is it Loki or Laukai or whatever?
Lauka.
Laukai.
But you were close, so I said yep. Um, and then of course Zarya, and then
Right.
Verminhag. Actually, Verminhag never had a name because she is one of many, essentially, kind of concept. She's of the vermin swarm. So, but Sushi Girl, yeah, she's a Fellwater Hag, aka a powerful version of a Water Hag. Uh, I will say, like, when it came to the conflict and the battle stuff, she massively, because she was basically there to be more of like the CC and control kind of aspect. Like, she had a death glare. If you failed a wisdom save, you drop to 0 and were unconscious. And
What's that?
right, yeah. She was a conjurer, so she was able to summon, all the little sea creatures. And Al, I say Corbin, he actually did something that Al, if he was not T Rex, may have not necessarily recognized, but may have thought it was something that he's heard about before,
Oh,
thanks to your travels. But you're a T Rex, so I never brought it up. And since you never asked anything about it, I just said, okay, maybe he's just not. That's fine, whatever.
nice. A nice here. Cool.
Yeah. So, um, but I mean, like, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, it was the ordering in my mind was basically, I thought you guys would realize that there were hags involved before you guys went to the Oracle, and then you guys would have been suspicious of the Oracle and been on guard, and it would have been a different type of transition. And that also would have meant that when you guys met Allosaur, I had to, because I knew Jesse was going to come join you guys. Jesse was going to be already out of the swamp and investigating the corruption in the water initially under orders of Mothras. Um, and he would have been there to assist you with her um, rather than the
Necromancer?
swamp hag. No, the
Oh.
swamp hag. I'm trying to remember the false oracle.
Yeah,
The four-armed
whose
hag.
name we
There we
never
go.
heard, I think.
Yeah, the four-armed hag. So that's I mean it's just mental gymnastics, right? Move
Yeah.
a piece here, put it here, same story. Really, I didn't really have to scale anything down because you guys are a large enough group where if you guys just take on one at a time, it wasn't a big deal. And then the scaling naturally was just you would be dealing with more of them at a time. Um, yep. Anything else?
So I'm just trying to think of like necromancer stuff, if anything,
Yeah,
because I'm
probably
just
stick
trying to
with
go
God.
in chronological order. I just what was her name? There was the
Oh, Winry. No, not Winry. Chapter 2, Necromancer.
yeah. If I had my notes open, I
Oh, man, I forgot her name. She's a huge and important character.
would. Oh.
Now, I don't remember Nozarin,
Oh yeah, Nazrin.
obviously.
Yeah.
Nozarin was the, what? I know her last name was Mothrin. I have her stats. Where the fuck do I have her name? Soul Jar was Mobby. Yeah, Mobby was the name of Hans. Wait, tells you that my notes were not that well put together. But I mean, they were like great at the time. But now I got trophies. I got to the mill. You know what? It's probably just under general notes for chapter 2. Where is her? Yeah, deep root name. Elsa Weir.
Elsevier. That's right.
But you're actually wearing her father's helmet.
Right. And Grant is. Oh no, Grant's not wearing. It's armor from the tower, but it's not. I don't think it has to do with her family.
Oh no, no, it was just one of the statues. So yeah, she was a fucking dark bitch character. Like I'm writing that
So,
backstory.
but she like killed some of the hags or something, right? Is that, or do
Uh,
we not know, or who knows?
well, I could let y'all know now. It was her current form, her merged self with the the uh far the Farscape individual that created Nothra and Oosh.
Right, which we still don't know much about.
Mm-mm. That's a whole other element that's playing in this like overarching story of the world. So welcome back. Hmm. But yeah, yeah, Elsa Weir. So we'll just say Elsa or Nothra. It's gonna be interchangeable for that. But yeah, essentially, uh, she they got aware of what the hags were, making their way in, and that's why they actually collapsed that one portion of the underground tunnel, because that was how the hags figured out their secret entrance.
So
And
was it the hags that set up the engine?
the no, so Elsewhere, if you recall one of the entities from the jars, they mentioned that Elsewhere had instructed them to take this artifact and figure out how to use it
No,
and
I don't remember.
manipulate it. Yeah, so she basically was collecting individuals that had special abilities that could like see, right? So that's like when Mavi was able to kind of see events, and that's why he was taken. So she was actually taking like true oracles and true farseers and stuff like that, and imprisoning them and using them for her own benefit and her own means. Uh, but yeah, some of the individuals were taxed there to manipulate this artifact or this powerful object that she had uncovered in her travels and during the war. And very much the engine is still not okay,
Right, I'm worried about
right?
it.
Like it's not evil, but it's also
It's like questionable origin at the least.
yeah, or it's been through a lot. Like something, while a magic item might not be sentient, that it is still marked by all the abuse and ways that it was utilized. So that's like mechanically speaking, if CJ was here, that's why it literally has a feature that is called still broken. And that's why when he uses a charge, he has to roll to see how that charge responds. It might listen to him and not mess up, or it might recoil and do something harmful to him. That just kind of comes down to
CJ likes to carry around a lot of things that could just be alive and here to fuck us.
A
that's
lot.
true. Yeah. Well,
New
and
friend?
like
New friend.
yeah,
Which is
but
fine. Yeah,
I
like Rock. I mean, sorry, I should say Rock likes to do that.
Yes.
I I will say the part of that is also just CJ. This is like CJ's way to interact with the world,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine.
which it
It's funny as
works.
hell.
Yeah, and yeah, because like, and I kid you guys not, like, if there was something kind of spending more to the group, if there was something like a law mage or something like that, right? And they were to come across you guys, they would not know what the fuck to make of you.
It's like I think they want to do good, but like they're doing so many weird, bad, wrong things.
It's a
Yeah,
lot of arson for a track record. What the hell?
and like also just like your equipment that you have.
Yeah,
Granted,
that's
it's
true.
you gather the stuff from what's available, but you guys reek of
Yeah,
edge
evil.
magic
Yeah.
and you know questionable things. Like it's not necessarily your fault, but more than half of the stuff you have is from the hags.
Yeah, just about.
So
Only
Is he
one of my
wearing a
things
skull?
now.
Nice.
and then obviously, you know, I don't know like how you guys feel about item allocation because it's up to you guys where you do it. But there's some interesting combinations that you guys have. One that I actually really like, and I it's one of the more recent ones. I just like the fact that you guys gave the whip to Al
Yeah, it's super good.
So
because
nice.
it's it could very easily go to someone that's a quote unquote, full martial capable individual. But
I mean, he's a freaking Valor Bard.
no, I know, and that's what I kind of like is that
Okay.
y'all respected that, and then it's like it still lets him be, dipping into that valor side,
Yeah, he's a
but still
materia
giving
Valor Bard,
them,
no less.
yeah, which
Mhm.
that's a whole other discussion. Which we'll see how well it actually scales because his main thing now is his 14th feature, which if we can get that far, or when we get that far, I should say, not if. Sorry. Um,
No,
Oh
you're
yeah.
yeah,
right. If
I mean,
You don't have to be there.
yeah, right. You guys can replace me,
No,
but
I was talking about Dragnar, but sure, that too.
oh, yeah, but
Jones will lead it.
there's no replacement for Dregnar.
but
At least when I do kaiju fights, I win.
Shut up. You were deceived. Quiet.
This was exactly as I planned.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was.
Can't believe it went that way. Yeah.
all rolled like shit. But just Al has a big bonus.
Dude, having actual damage dice is so nice.
I mean, yeah,
I was just like, whoa, every single time.
yeah, it's a little obnoxious when you consider some of the roles that can be done. But
Mm.
I don't know. Trying to think if I can think of things too, because I don't mind like sharing some stuff, but I'm more interested in like your thoughts or questions. That to me is the more intriguing part. Like what was frustrating, what made you guys feel completely lost? Were there ever moments where you were like, "Holy, I don't like this," or
I don't know if I ever felt like that.
Yeah, agreed. Uh, the only times it really ever seemed to drag on were when we got caught up in role playing
Yeah.
and like back-to-back sessions, and it was like, have we done anything in the last 3 sessions?
Yeah.
Shit, this is kind of our fault.
Which it dragged, but
But
like not like in a unfun way. Just like wow, we
Mm.
really haven't done anything except for fuck
Too busy,
around, which is fine.
yeah, too busy having fun. It's like, no progress, but
But we did
certainly
like
not
30
dull.
pranks.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
character building and lots of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes me happy that it wasn't like anything. 'Cause it's hard to gauge. Like, we have so many people that it's like you want to keep it interesting for everybody,
I
and
will
you
s-
want to keep certain elements.
I will say
Uh,
the wild magic stuff at the end was like very teetering on the brink of just too much. But it was like it was fine, but it was like more, and it would have been probably too much. I think.
oh yeah, and that's why I was,
Mm.
but like part of me almost legit was like, I don't care what die I roll, I'm just gonna turn off the wild magic surge, right?
Yeah.
And just do the
Yeah.
elevate,
Fudge
elevate.
it.
'Cause I
Yeah.
legit thought, you think about it, it's supposed to be roughly 50-50.
Yeah, and you got it like 5 times in a row or something.
Yeah, like, really?
Ah,
Yeah, because it was either elevate or wild magic. Because yeah, I very much, I think I told
wow.
Danny during the break room, it's like, I thought you guys were gonna be like 200 feet up in the air
Right.
at one point, but no, you guys were only 80.
80.
It's not the visual that I had in mind, but that's the visual that Dice gave us. So yeah,
Oh,
no, and I probably could have cut back on the wild magic at some point, or just been, I don't know, kind of just made
Like I
up
said,
what
it
happened.
ended up being okay, but it was like teetering on the, because it ended up being just fun enough. But if there was more of like the kind of like me turning stuff into Rust, where it's like that's not really that much of an invitation for fun,
No, 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 no.
mm.
then it would have just been like, this is just annoying.
Yep.
I like the word teetering because for me it got to a point where I couldn't write down my own alterations and everybody else's, so I just had
Yeah.
to focus on my own.
Yep.
But then you were there when I was at work, Adam, and I was able to just be like, oh, and then this happened, and then this happened, and now I'm dumb, and oh my god, it was so fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm
Wait,
glad
now
that
you're done.
part of it was.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh
say
yeah.
now you're dumb.
Uh huh. Uh huh. I got that dino brain on top of everything else. So powerful.
It's a dino brain.
You should have used a whip in dino form.
He did. It's called his tail.
And then I bit for 0 damage, and I lost my 0-sided dice. It's a good day.
Yeah.
What's funny is your dino form has similar things to your whip because like your tail has reach and your bite has grapple. So
Ooh.
Huh? True. Yeah.
Uh, a bit of a tangent, but I was a little let down. I was trying to get up fast enough to whip Zarya and make some kind of quip about that,
Oh
but
yeah. I get that.
took me a couple turns.
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Strategically, of
Yeah.
course, intentionally.
Yes, of course. I felt like it was better for the army, for the menagerie, for me to take that path.
Yeah. Like let's see. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Harley? Do we know? I actually forget.
You didn't inquire since you guys didn't really bring up anything about like in the end of like this session,
The
like
epilogue.
working with Isos. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured Isos still cared about him and would want to like help him out.
Yeah. So essentially, Harley is in a. It's kind of dark, but he's like in a crippled state for the rest of his life.
That
Um.
sucks.
Like what? Um,
Yeah.
is that my fault? Fuck.
Did I do that?
I mean,
Urkel, no!
I mean,
Urkel, that's a war crime.
y'all kind of did that. Like the thing is, like he was basically y'all didn't do it to him, but y'all didn't do really anything to help prevent anything happening to him. But then again, y'all wouldn't know
Wait, I
what
don't
to
know.
do.
Were we capable at the time? You think?
Uh, Again, it would just kind of like, part of it comes down to like what ideas y'all have and me just working with it.
Yeah,
Like
fair enough.
I can't say that no. I mean, there's by all means y'all could have come up with something interesting, and I'd be like, all right, let me spin something, let me make something.
All right. So how long did you think it might take us to do this? Like
I thought we
40
would
or
be out.
50 times?
Yeah,
Like just
50. I thought
episodes?
50.
Yeah.
I thought 50.
And it turned out
Like I
being
knew this
like
was gonna be.
70 or 80.
Yeah, I
I
thought that
think
this was
it,
gonna be a chunk, but I didn't think it was gonna be this chunk.
Like a year and a half.
I think at least 18 or so sessions were roleplay.
Yeah, that's true.
But ultimately, I stick to it. As long as you guys had fun, then I don't care. Um, and it allowed me to honestly build way detail into this that I may have never had to do. So there's stuff that was introduced later on just because of
Sure.
maybe something that someone mentioned or a direction y'all were going, and that allowed me to just kind of add on to there because there are parts where absolutely and completely I had a big gaping hole, right? And then I was just like, hmm,
Hmm.
well, the guy said this. Let me reward them with something. And sometimes things created or things came into existence because of a inkling or a thought. I may have never considered it, but I wanted to give y'all that little bit of a nugget of, hey, maybe I'm on the right path. So I kind of create a path that links your ideas together in a way. Um, that's just fun to do
So any
because then I
examples
get
of that, or is that too much?
uh, let me scour my brain because I mean I at some honestly at some point I may have just forgotten what some of the things. Um,
It
okay.
definitely feels like something's happened, but I can't think of any. I guess
Yeah,
I need the
that's
background knowledge, yeah.
because it kind of it became kind of fluid in doing it. Give me a second. Uh, fuck. For sure. Oh God, why can't I think of them? Okay, you give me a minute. It'll come to me. I
Okay.
gotta remember like what were the things that you guys may have said that was like, oh wow, let me actually make that happen. Um, I'm not trying to think of things like where I just added a shop or something to make it work, or I added a character. Um,
I have another question while you're thinking.
yeah, go for it. I might not even remember. Okay, go
The
for it.
will-o-wisps.
The
Oof,
ones all the way back in the swamp.
Yeah.
that was a fun
Yeah,
one.
Was there
my
any
buddy.
relation to any of the other stuff we did, or did we just happen to wander into a where were some will-o-wisps for?
So the wisps are so 2 parts. So wisps are added in to show some connection to the undead, right? Because there's
Okay.
multiple types of wisps, but in the PHB, the wisps that they provide are the undead variant. There are the Fey variant and other stuff,
Okay.
and they were a means to start giving you some clues about Mobby, aka
Gotcha.
Hans, and maybe realizing potentially some more story and maybe if you were able to kind of get that kind of cinematic feel of like what these individuals were and their livelihoods,
Okay.
and you might get some story elements. And some of these people that were there, you would have seen that they would have been followers of Mathstall or get you that sense of the betrayal kind of thing. Uh,
Mm,
that's
okay.
the main one. And Wisps are just fun because they're fast, little annoying things.
They're
Well,
crazy.
yeah. God, what were things that you guys said? Go ahead,
Yeah,
Al.
I never read the entry on wisps, so that encounter scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. Um, holy shit. I'm just drawing blank. Oh, no, because that was I don't remember who mentioned no no, so yeah, so one of the ways was getting out of the Oracle's hut way back when.
Yeah. Well, I think I used the heartstone.
Yeah. So that kind of gave me another way to express the puzzle that I never thought I would need to. I never considered the outside as being able to traverse it. Again, it's things that you don't even think about when you give someone something, right? It's like, oh shit. Because James had mentioned something about smoking bottle. And I was like, okay, that might work. That might help. And then you stepped out, and I was like, okay, those two pieces connect. Maybe that'll show him a way to get out. Um, that was honestly how I thought you guys were gonna get out. Was there was a so when you were getting out, I thought that there eventually something would trigger where you guys would have to notice the smoke. Either Dragnar would do it or the cauldron would start bubbling and smoking. That was a failsafe. And then with all that stuff that was going on, I think with like the investigations or something that was going on, like people were saying, well, there's got to be more here, more clues, something like that. I don't remember if it was something that you guys said vocally or someone typed something somewhere and I happened to see it. And then that kind of gave me the idea of giving y'all that little cubby hole that you found
Cubbyhole?
where yeah, where you found the notes and you
Oh,
found,
right. The freaking things that guided us for the next 10 episodes or more.
yeah, because I didn't expect you guys to need them there because that was not the order that, again, I initially
Right.
thought you guys were going in. So that was my opportunity to shunt something in there because people were determined to find something. I think it was rock or something that was like, oh, there's got to be more. Um, the whole Jessica bit, Victor, I didn't have Victor. I just created Victor on the spot to give you guys someone to work with
Nice.
because you needed somebody. Like based off how
Yeah.
you guys were interacting, I was like, shit, they need somebody. All right, let's just whip somebody up really quick. He was a on the spot NPC.
Nice.
I do
Um,
got a question for you though.
yeah,
Was Zarya always going to be a collector of unique things, or is that something you pulled from the bear?
he was gonna be a primal hag, not a collector hag. But then I wanted to tie in your backstory.
Okay.
Nice.
So, basically, so I guess since you guys know a little bit about his brother, right?
Right.
Um, James himself never had a clue about
No.
that. Like he's like, I was in a cave and I had a connection with this giant oversized bear and it adopted me, basically. Like super
Wide
cliff
open.
note. Yeah, super wide open and super cliff note version of what he gave me. And from there I was like, well, let's make this important. Why? This is why would a bear take in a boy kind of situation? And then he gave me this thing in his story that like his brother was killed. And then that let me kind of start thinking of like, well, I like to tie things in, make things kind of bigger than they are. And I had this idea that the or from his get-go that the bear was more than just a bear, and that it wouldn't have to be something important or purposeful to kill him, not just like some regular. Because he mentioned like his brother was like shot with an arrow or something, I think. And I was like, well, there's got to be more than just that. So that's where this idea of taking the bitch who was initially meant to be this underground dealer, a hag that has ascended to being like an underground dealer of sorts, into an actual trophy hag. And one of the main trophies uh, that she had was Dragnar's bro. And that was meant to be like a tying piece and an introductory piece to the subtle realm and everything. Mm, I think of other ones. Like, it's interesting because when you ask, like, if there's other parts that I've like twisted and warped around the things that you've said, I guess I've done it a number of times where it just became kind of natural,
Yeah.
and
Good.
I generally just don't remember them. I know there was something at the Olivine Mills. I'm trying to remember what was there. I think I remember it, but I don't remember what. There was something definitely there. And then oh yeah, Bart and the Fist. Fuck, those guys didn't exist until you. I don't know, the way that you guys interacted with them made me feel like, okay, no, they needed something greater than them that was causing them to do this.
Right. Like they needed some path to redemption, basically.
Yeah. So Bart and the Fist were created because of you guys. Um, and you still haven't met Bart the Fist, which is
Right.
interesting. Uh,
Was the black purse like? What was the intent there? Just to.
just to show you your power scaling. That's all.
Okay.
That was legit what it was, and it kind of almost backfired
Yeah, because I
because
almost died.
yeah, because like for some reason no one rolled really well.
Yeah,
Like
nobody
like
saw them
on
over there.
yeah, and then so they just got this
Sneak
like
attack, sneak attack, sneak
full
attack. Boom.
yeah all at
Where'd
advantage.
you?
They got like 3 crits on you or something.
Yep.
That was
I
something.
think it was like 8 shots or something like that.
Yeah, 8 shots, 3 crits, all had sneak attack. I was like, oh shit, this was unintentional.
Because we were level what, like 5 at that point, maybe
I think
6,
a
maybe.
little bit higher. I think like
Or was that
6.
after we came? That was after we fought the false oracle. So we probably were like 6 at least, I would say.
Yeah, you had just dealt with the Hydra and stuff like that. Yeah. Trying to think what else. But yeah, like it's I kind of want to listen to some of the sessions and just kind of remember like things that happened in the past that you
You
guys said
can.
stuff. I know I can. I know. Oh yeah, trust me. And I have listened to some stuff because I have to just to kind of remember.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like a lot of the like oh, I guess for Marb, um, Grung was completely created on the spot because he wanted a pocket the carry. I didn't think he was gonna be a important character, but just by the way that it resonated with Marb and Marb kept wanting to go back to him potentially. I was like, okay, I guess he's a character. I guess I'm gonna make him more skilled at what he was initially designed to do. So that's why he was able to create like Grung's arrows and stuff like that.
The boom.
Nice.
Yeah. The medical guy.
Uh,
Uh,
shit. The one who helped Lionel.
yeah.
Jasper. Something like
No,
that.
something like that. He was a lot more capable than I initially thought he was going to be, just because it felt like it needed to be. Um, just to kind of help you guys, you know. Uh, there was other stuff too, but like it'd be interesting because probably like while we're discussing or just playing our own games right now, things will come to mind. But oh, like yeah, like completely something like when you guys decided to harvest the Hydra and you guys did so well harvesting it, I had to like think of like, oh God, what can you use the Hydra for? So I had to do research.
Oh, nice. And then we didn't use the earring at all.
Yeah, didn't use the brooch,
Or
the
the probes,
bag.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently, like, so Hydra teeth are highly sought after by farmers because they tend to never break
Oh, yeah. I think you mentioned that.
in D&D lore, so they can sell them for a decent penny. And then if you use dried Hydra, if you make Hydra powder or something, I don't remember, and you put it in a bag, it preserves produce very well.
Yeah, that's why we had the bag of cooling or whatever. Colding.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's based on how well the magic was applied, it would be a bag of holding kind of thing. And then
So weren't there some of the items that you created just for like specific characters?
yeah, I mean, in mind, but not like
Well,
I like
yeah.
I like creating like more neutral items right now that that you guys can just kind of freely apply. Like the Baleful Claw, that's so neutral. Like any one of you guys could have taken it to just
I mean, it would have made
just
sense for me to
take.
have it.
No, but okay, that's another thing. The only reason you have a fucking glaive is because you rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, natural 20.
That shit's
Like
so funny.
the glaive was never meant to exist.
See, Al, you should have taken that opportunity. Hey,
That's
I
true.
look around for a specific item.
I
Remember,
want,
you had those
yeah.
20s.
Damn it.
You know.
I look around for a special loot. Do I find one? 20.
Oh,
The 20 doesn't make something just exist in a way. Like they at least had an armory, and I was like, well, they would have this.
uh,
So here you
with
go.
the guaranteed 20, that should have looted the hags. Fuck.
I mean, I think it also was maybe a little bit of metagaming on Adam's part because I had switched from one Warlord archetype to another, and so I didn't quite have the equipment that I really wanted that build. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but you guys weren't at the point of magical items yet either.
That's true.
I ain't
So it
complaining.
was,
I'm still using that buckler.
That's true. You got the buckler. I don't know what I did with the spear. I guess I just donated it to the armory.
I think that's what you did.
You know, I don't remember that far ago. It's literally 80 episodes ago.
Yeah. This was there.
Mm. At the top of the tower for the necromancer,
Okay.
there's a bunch of like upside down trolls, and their blood was being drained to
Yeah.
power the
Mhm.
battery. Is
Mhm.
this symbolism for late stage capitalism? No. No. No, I'm
Damn,
just
you
kidding.
caught me. You caught me.
Knew it. No.
Yeah.
Welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D like Leninist Marxists.
Yes, exactly. Um.
Trying to think of something else. Anything else?
There was. God, it's just because it's late. It's also kind of hard to just kind of think of things.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like we can always just do another one later when questions come up. I'm just really trying to rack my brain over things that you guys had mentioned, and it just drove me to do something in one way that I wasn't expecting it to do it. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time thinking of it because frankly, there was a fair amount of it. Just because it's like it's fun to make it rewarding for you guys.
So were there any NPCs in Green Hill which are like, I bet so and so is gonna go interact with, and then they just never did?
Oh, I will say, like I did expect y'all when y'all were taking Hava back home from that night drinking.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know why. I thought maybe you guys may have tried to go inside the house. So I like built out her house and never used it.
Nice.
Her little like where she was living. Oh yeah. Any and all interactions with Samson and his sister Nina completely made up. Not intentionally needed to exist, but the way that y'all guys were talking,
Yeah.
I'm
like
What?
assuming the same for Barkchester.
put Barchester on the spot. Yeah, Barky
Which
was
one
fine.
was Samson? Which
He was
race was he?
the
Nina's brother?
yeah cousin.
Cousin.
He
Okay,
was
okay.
he was
Nina's
one
the
of the
pillow
guys that
lady.
was trusted. Yeah, and one of the trusted guys that worked with
Harley.
Isos.
And Isos, yeah.
Isos.
That boat
Yeah,
crew is funny.
you know, yeah. Like,
Trying to think, like, around the Nutra stuff, was there anything that I had any questions about? Nutra and the Boulder Fields.
oh yeah, Boulder Fields were
Well, yeah, so I guess if we hadn't done, like, the freaking, like, turbo dive to go in and get her, like, if she had become, like, the vessel or something,
All right.
like, then what? Would we just had to, like, kill her to get it out? Like,
you're talking about the vessel like
well,
for
cause
the
she,
red
I
mist?
assume, yeah, well, I assume the first, ritual that we interrupted by pulling her out was them trying to make her a vessel of some sort.
Are you talking like with Hava, right?
No,
So
no,
making Hava
with.
the vessel?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, it was Hava. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Nutra was running the camp.
Yeah, Nutra
But
was. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
yeah, that's why I was like trying to understand.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was
So
confusing.
no, you're good. There's a lot of names. So yes. So essentially, uh, like there's a whole aspect of Hava that y'all never investigated or wanted to, thought to follow up on. Um, so yeah, she's still a kind of a mysterious character in some aspects. There's like that little, if you remember when you guys were in the war room, just kind of before I go to your question, and she was helping translate some of the documentation, and she said, "Oh, I'm a linguist."
Yeah.
Eh, that's kind of true. You had some other stuff going on. Um, but yeah, so if Pava would have been possessed, she would have been a body for the red mist. And the red mist is only a factor because somehow it managed to reach out to the coven of covens because it is the herald of this mad titan that was locked away a long time ago. That it was basically the mad god's way of getting his herald back, or releasing one of his heralds, and it basically tricked Zarya into thinking that this was a trophy worth getting. And then, because Zarya doesn't do the dirty work, she gets other people to do the dirty work for her. She convinced the three sisters from the other coven that this was important to the plan. And that could have been revealed in other ways, like if you would have maybe not so forcefully went to the boulder fields, but did some more like information digging and espionage style
Yeah, it kind of felt
to.
like we were on timers a lot. When I'm guessing we probably really weren't.
No, you really weren't.
Oh,
You guys kind of self-imposed a lot of timers for yourself, and that's, I guess, in a way, that is something that I kind of fed off of. Like when you guys started making it feel like it was a timer, I just kind of leaned into it just to make it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it, but in words to make it feel like you guys were not off on the sense. Like I wanted to like be like,
Yeah.
okay, sure, if they feel a timer, let's create a
Roll with
timer
that.
for them. Yeah.
my
Um.
anxiety.
Yeah. I would say more than anything, maybe not creating situations or like that, but like creating atmosphere and energy was definitely derived by how you guys were approaching the table. And that's probably why I'm having such a hard time pinpointing exact things that I did or exact things that people said that made me go like, oh, okay, let me do this. It was more of just like reading the table and seeing how strung up you guys were over something. I was like, okay, well, let's just justify them being so strung up about this. Or high strung, I guess would be the right way to say it in English. Yeah,
No,
you
we're
guys.
about to get hanged.
I would hope not. Like, I never want to kill y'all. It's not my intention.
Yeah, this is too deep. Feel free to deny, but the Wisp fight, I don't think it was a TPK. I think it was a bad time, and then some time stuff happened. What was that plan
TP
again?
the the West fight.
Um, the Mother Wisp.
Yeah, we did go
Oh
back in time or something.
yeah. Basically, you never actually encountered. It wasn't going back in time. Y'all were just under one mass hysterical delusion. Not hysterical, mass delusion is what it was.
Okay,
She
so it
imposed
was.
her will. Yeah, y'all were
Okay,
just standing still, zonked out, is what it was.
shit,
And
that
y'all
was
all
planned.
kind of. Yeah, like that's like
Oh yeah.
that's a that's a CR motherfucking high entity. You ain't gonna do shit to that.
No, we found out.
CR high.
Yeah,
That's
CR
the
high.
new rating system. CR motherfucking high.
Yeah,
Ah.
like
Ha
legit.
ha
Like,
ha.
so I guess the way that it was revealed, yeah, not necessarily the way that I expected it to be, but then again, you put something in front of someone, of course they're gonna want to hit it with their character.
Yep.
Mhm.
Especially several of
Um,
our characters.
yeah, so sure, like I guess it was meant to be an impossible encounter, but it wasn't meant to be an encounter to begin with, right? It was meant to, I don't know. I guess in that one, now that you mentioned, I specifically remember feeling really shitty because I felt like I didn't give you guys enough hints or clues, or I made it too confusing or something because y'all didn't pick up on some elements of it, and I was like, well, shit.
I feel
I
like we did sometimes.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I let them down because I put them like I remember that now that you mention it because I felt like I put you guys in an impossible situation. That's something I never want to do. But holy crap, did I put you guys in an impossible situation unintentionally? I was like, oh man, okay, that's my bad.
So, did you ever have you fudged any rolls?
Um,
He's a
Okay, it's
goddamn
okay.
liar if he says
I was
no.
gonna say it's okay if
I
the
was
answer
gonna
is yes.
say, I mean, yes, you do. Uh, but never in a super severe kind of way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But of course.
Not death save
And
number 3.
no, no, no. Like I will never. So seriously, I will never fudge the death save one.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
stupid.
those are yeah.
That is, I put in the system that you guys let me, that you guys, that I roll for you. And if someone dies, someone dies.
Yep.
I don't want someone to ever feel that's like,
That's
Trust me,
shit.
Yashi knows.
Yep.
no, don't need that.
Eh, never gonna live that down.
And I didn't even get death saves.
No,
That's
neither does
true.
Marv.
Dead.
You did it.
Damn
Dead.
it.
Yeah,
Zip.
God, and Marv almost too. Holy.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you know, there were instances where, like, okay, so like Marv, right? And I would have completely understood if you guys would have called me out for like bullshit about the ring. But legit, I had that written in the notes that the ring would prevent you from dying once, but the ring is destroyed in the process. Just happened to be this innate little feature on the ring that wasn't discovered.
I believe that.
So,
Yeah. I remember being on board with it from the beginning. Was it the effect we did know? Was it something in line with that?
yeah, so it was a ring against death. Yeah, it made it so that it took. It was either I'd have to look at the item. I can't remember if it was the one that made it so it take 4 fails to kill you, or I think it was like it took. Yeah, I think I'll bring it up here in a second. I'll look, but it made it so it was harder for you to perma die,
Okay. I just
and
remember
then
But
it
it
didn't
also
seem
did
far fetched
some
at
other
all.
It also had evasion, right?
something like that.
that's too strong. I think. Let me pull it up. Creation. I don't think I deleted it. It's ban. It's Dirge. I know it's Band of the Dirge.
Yep.
Yeah, Band of the Dirge. Um, the this faceted dark metal ring lets off a subtle, almost unnoticeable pale green glow from the many ridges. When a character is attuned to this band, the number of failed death saving throws required to kill them is increased to 4. Additionally, if a failed if you fail a death saving throw, the next saving throw is done at advantage. This advantage fades if you are killed, stabilized, or unattuned to the Band of the Dirge. And then here I have DM note, C1 note, and that's how I knew that it was the resurrection thing.
Oh, okay. But it seemed in line with the item, so it wasn't a
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it didn't seem like a fudge.
yeah.
it was,
Just
But
very
it
fucking
was.
lucky.
I remember my heart fucking dropped. I'm like, is Marb about to fucking die?
Yeah, like the green ray goes and
It's a hit. I'm like, no.
because I don't think Nico knew what green ray meant.
no, no, no. He didn't. He didn't put the pieces together yet.
Yeah, that
You seem
was
pretty chill about it.
yeah.
No, Nico's
He's like,
always.
oh man, what's this one? That sucks. That's okay. I'm like full health. Like, oh, guess what? Actually, he may not have been full health because if he was at full health, he probably wouldn't have been at risk of dying.
That
Oh
still would have
yeah.
been like 30 something, right?
It doesn't matter, Captain.
Other aspects were like huge for you guys. I don't know. I'm just still trying to think of things. There's like obviously there's been items that have been tweaked over time just because it's like realizations of powers.
Yeah, like the Hearthstone.
Yeah,
It was
Hearthstone needed it.
Scrawlings.
stupid good. Oh, the scrawlings, yeah.
What about the scrolling?
Just that they existed, and we're like, yeah, I know enough about it. Let's go. Let's give it a try.
Yeah. Um, I would say like me as a DM, I remember when the scrawlings were involved. I thought y'all would jump more readily to it and get it like use them, and it was interesting to me how long it took for you guys to decide on who gets it or how to use it. But then again, spooky shit. I guess I was just, in my mind, I was like, hey, sweet, powerful items. Let's use them.
I think it was
You
a
guys work out.
combination of being skeptical, and I really think I investigated it like 3 to 5 times, and a lot of those were shitty rolls, so I didn't get any
Mm,
new information. And I was like, okay, I got something. Let's go. So I partially take blame for my suffering, but
no, you didn't suffer too much. I mean,
no, it's not too bad once I gained a few levels. I really like I think you said it about one of your prior characters though. They lost an arm, and
oh
it
yeah,
adds so much of the character when shit like that happens.
yeah,
A little
legit.
adversity.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so the story, just so it goes in recording, is we were in the quasi elemental plane of crystal. Yeah. Somewhere between life and earth, I think is where it falls. And uh anyways, cultists yada yada doing things. And they were, did we know they were summoning Michael back? I don't remember. Somehow, so Michael is the name we gave a what we thought was a planetar, but was actually a Yogolith in disguise. And he has fucked with us multiple times, and we hated him. And we had managed to somehow get rid of him once, and then we went to go mess with them. Yada yada, doesn't matter. So they're trying to bring him back, and where we go to interrupt them, we get into a fight, and then Michael is brought back in his Yogolith form, so he's like a slimy ooze monster. And however, it's the ritual that's keeping him on this plane, so he needs an anchor, and we managed to destroy the anchor. And as he's getting faded away, he launches his tendrils into me, into my arm, because my guy very much had a way to piss off anything that was not good. My guy was not liked by a lot of the bad guys. Um, and so because my DM ruled that because you know his ooze was mixed with me, that I was he was anchored because I was anchored on this plane.
Ooh, interesting.
So I was like, okay, sure, whatever.
Got my
And
arm.
then no, that wasn't even the intention. Um, so my warlock had telekinesis, and his thought was that he was going to pull me free from his grapple. And I completely was on board with that. I was like, yeah, sure, dude, I'm not going to tell you not to do anything, right? Um, and so he rolled, and my DM made him, I don't know, some sort of check. I think it might have just been a spellcasting check or something like that to see like the strength of the pool or something like, because it was like a contested roll. And then he rolled a natural 20, and then I had to roll. Yeah, I had to roll something to see how my body would. There's like a con
Yeah,
save or
con
something just
save
from the
makes sense.
force, yeah, or something like that. And I rolled a natural one,
Ooh.
so my arm literally gets ripped out of its socket.
Fair, fair.
And because it's no longer attached to the core of me, it is therefore no longer anchored to this plane, and Michael gets shunted back. But then Michael has my arm now, and I am bleeding out, and there's no way for them to attach an arm. And then there was this whole bargaining thing where the warlock, who ended up being one fucking evil motherfucker, But my character was so convinced that he was not going to be, that he was, not, that I like always tried to say, no, 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 you guys just think he's evil because of the way he looks and the way. Ended up that at the end of the whole thing, he was evil, and I was duped. But
You can judge a book
he,
by its cover.
yeah, so he basically made a pact with his patron on the spot that said, give him my arm.
Interesting.
And his patron was like, okay, fuck you, whatever. You're dumb enough to want to help this guy. So his arm got shunted onto my body, but I'm an Asimar, and he's an evil motherfucker. So my body starts rejecting the arm, and it starts to become like this evil manifestation. So it becomes basically, if you're familiar with Illidan Stormrage from World of Warcraft, my arm basically looked like Illidan Stormrage's arms. So spiny and terrifying. A lot of fun though. And then we had a Way of the Four Elements monk, and however we very highly customize it because it fucking sucks. And
You don't say.
yeah, and because he was on a quasi elemental plane, he was a lot more powerful than he should have been. And he was able to manipulate the crystals and uh, make like a crystalline arm and put it into Alafa's, where he sacrificed his arm for my arm. So we literally had a guy running around with a crystalline arm and a guy running around with a arm that his body was rejecting and was being manifested as something evil for the rest of the campaign. And
Sounds
my
normal.
arm, like it wasn't evil, like in the fact that it was conscious and trying to that. It was just, my body was rejecting it because it knew, because I was an Asimov, celestial blood, and it came from someone that made a pact with a really fucking evil patron. So I literally had to like my arm constantly wrapped up and covered in bandages so no one would ever see it. But it was fun.
Hell
I was
yeah.
ready to be an armless character for a while, but they jumped to the occasion and fixed that shit real quick.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a fun story.
So what did that have to do with our campaign again? I forgot.
I'll just ask about going with it. Going
I'll
with the
stop
monk.
asking questions.
Yeah, why do you ask questions?
You're like that guy at the end of the meeting. Is there any more questions? Well, yes.
Actually, yes. Why
Well,
is there no coffee in the break room?
Mhm.
I need the Arabica. Come on.
why is there no funding for more employees?
I didn't get all the
Yeah,
notes. Can we have a meeting to discuss this meeting?
Mhm.
yeah. No, that was Al just asking, like, going with it. That was
Oh,
it.
okay.
I think I was
Because Marb's
commenting on
very good with
my
going with it.
scrawlings.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
scrolling.
The
Then
Mar
detrimental effects. That's right.
yeah,
Marb's eyes are another really good one where it's just complete
Oh,
character
yeah.
change. Live with it. You're interesting, you're scarred, you're traumatic, you're traumatized. Have fun.
So,
if you guys trust the DM enough, it's not gonna be terrible.
Ah, that's our first mistake. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the first mistake right there.
and for all I know, Davis is also corrupted by some like extra planar being.
Oh yeah, 'cause you got the brand marks on your back.
Well, that and I've got the weird thing talking to me in my dreams.
Mm.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about that.
It happens.
Yeah, normal.
I'm used to mine.
Dreams mean nothing.
No,
I
absolutely
named
not.
mine Candles. Does yours have a name?
You did? No. Scaly.
Yeah. I wonder if Rock has any people he talks to in his dreams. That may or may not
Oh,
be
Talk to us in his dreams when he's
I was gonna
awake.
say, dreaming or not, he just talks to random people that aren't there. We know that.
shit, yeah.
Yeah. Adam, on a different note, there is a world thing on Ascension for the entire world. It's 3% increase plus it's a world quest.
oh, cool, 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 cool.
You know,
Yeah, I getting on just for a little bit.
I'm actually just now getting off. I'm at level 34, so I'm gonna take a break.
Oh, nice. And then you already prestiged, right?
Yeah, I prestiged.
Oh, cool, dude.
You
Boys.
know, I had another one of the XP boosts, so it helped out a lot. Plus the world boost.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man.
I have another question.
Okay.
Did you expect us to have to go back back and forth into the deep root all that not that many times, or was it
Yeah.
like a one-time deal? You thought?
One-time dealio.
It's,
Like honestly, part of me thought you guys would never actually go until the very end. Like Deep Root to me was the last place because of
like
like
even after all the
Seb.
hags?
I don't know, like it would be the last part of the hags
Okay.
because again, I don't even honestly remember the full story flow that I would have in mind, but like it would. I didn't necessarily know if you guys would like jump onto the Amara thing and then want to go, and then I thought like essentially you guys would she would continue to pester you guys through town until you guys decided to go. As you guys did things to investigate the Fellwater Hag and stuff like that. And there was actually going to be this whole portion that was meant to be like a red herring slash confuse you guys, where you guys would have thought Amara was the bad guy or something like that, because she was always like in the area where things were happening.
And she's friends with Dregnar, so that's a bad sign.
Exactly.
Yeah, but no, it didn't play out that way. But
Big red flag.
That's like the biggest red flag.
No, Dregnar's
Because
pretty small. It's a
remember,
pretty small red flag.
yeah, remember you guys found me dying in a little hut, so you don't
Yeah.
really trust me.
We're
mm,
like, one of us, one of us.
oh look, he's dying. He's
No, Davis inherently trusted you after you saved Al from the tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
I very much remember that from the house that just erupted in tentacles, and I had to run. You were like, "I'm getting him." I was like, "Oh fuck, this guy rules."
I
I
thought it
remember
would have
that
been
now.
whenever I bulldog the giant bear pig or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's good too.
Pretty cool. That was actually very cool.
But see, if you remember correctly, in the swamp, Dreg wanted to immediately go to the Necromancer's Tower, and everyone's like, "No, let's go back home."
I mean,
Yeah.
it just didn't feel like we were prepared, and I kind of think we wouldn't have been.
That's how I felt as well. I don't know if it was one part rations, one part levels, but I didn't feel like we were gonna be strong enough for some reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I don't know. I guess I don't know. Like I'm still super happy with how everything played out. Like
Oh, for
personally,
sure.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, I will say
Yeah.
there's definitely been several times where it's been pretty close.
Oh yeah. Now
Mhm.
I got a question for you. For the NPCs, did you already have ones picked out that were going to die, or has it been random rolls the entire time?
Ooh.
random rolls. Like mm, mm, I'm not attached to them.
Like
Okay.
even when we were coming back to a destroyed Green Hill, you
Yeah.
didn't have anybody who was like slated.
No. No. Seb could have died.
Interesting.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, I was thinking about Amara. You know, she was
Yeah.
kind of key there for a little bit, and then um, Jade. Was it Jade? No.
yeah,
Who's
Jade.
the-
Jade.
Jade.
Jade's only as prominent as it is because you guys fixated on her. She's not supposed to be like a special character, but it's another
A-
example of where you guys were interested on her. So I was like, okay,
And then
Because
Filbert was a shock. I was like, oh damn.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the other
So
ones.
yeah, that whole sequence with them, the Fox Force getting attacked and ambushed and murderized, rolled it. Granted, it was a much higher percentage of chance of them rolling poorly and die because like it was a skewed
Yeah.
roll. It was something like roll a. If I rolled anything lower than a 15, they were dying.
Damn.
Now, were you shocked that we didn't stay with them and we went to the fish place?
Yep. But I kind of understood it too because you were kind of keeping them.
Yeah, it's for their safety.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, we thought
Of course, if we would have been there, we probably could have changed the
uh,
tide. But you know,
that's what D&D
Yeah.
is
shoulda, coulda,
about.
woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, like I, I genuinely mean it. Like as surprised as I got with a lot of this stuff, it was still fucking like, hell yeah. The way y'all did everything was awesome. Why can't I complete this quest? I have the materials.
Which one?
The turning in like the blasted lands things for. There we go. Had to like remove it from my bar and then just
Yeah,
redo
I
it.
had an issue with that earlier too. It didn't like where it was at.
Yeah. I think you can only like carry one at a time or something.
Yeah.
That's gotta be what it is. Yeah, that's not giving me experience anymore. Are you giving me experience? No, you're not giving me experience anymore. Alright, let's drop this one.
Let's see. Why the fuck do I hate Billy? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I really
Same.
don't
You
remember.
just hate you hate children.
Like,
Wow.
that actually, that no, the way but legit, I don't remember why you hate
I
Billy either.
don't either, but I'm just into it now. It's just,
It's just one of those
What is-
things. I don't like the way you look. Get away from me.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Dazzle was created on the spot. No, Dazzle was not created on the spot.
That was the assassin, right?
Yeah, she's
That
a halfling? Is
yeah,
that what she was?
yeah, the dark cladded halfling that seems to be only on the boat.
Yeah.
That was something I thought you guys would investigate,
I
but
think
nope.
Marb got a little bit black speech or something.
Yeah,
No,
very
Thieves'
But
true.
Cant. It was Thieves' Cant, wasn't it?
ah,
Did they exchange something in Thieves' Cant? I don't actually remember.
Yeah,
Marb
they
knows Thieves' Cant, right?
yeah, Marv knows he's got.
Now the mutations, if you will, of exiting the unformed maze, was that something that was always planned?
Nope. Just
Hell,
felt
was
like
us going to the Unformed Maze planned?
nope.
oh shit.
No, I legit did not think you guys were going to cross that threshold. I had something ready just in case.
Oh, so
Mhm.
going through the thing was always going to the maze, though.
Going, yeah. So all right, yeah. So if we're gonna backtrack, so yeah, because I know part of this was revealed, so I might give you something that wasn't, but I know most of this was revealed. So Elsevier, her family, the Maftaws, they were responsible. Her adopted family were responsible for being shepherds, well,
Right.
shepherds of fate, fate, yeah. And then she felt betrayed because the deity themselves did not respect her or did not care for her in her eyes because she was not of the proper bloodline.
Ooh.
Um, because she was not a true Master. So that's kind of the point that made her go a little, well, fuck you.
Well, now I'm on
Gonna,
her side. Fuck.
yeah. Well, and then, but she also was dark and twisted because she figured out, like, she learned that she has a real strong tie to the necromantic portion of the magic scape, and that's why she created the husks and everything, and the husk zombies and all that. That was actually really scary. I will real quickly backtrack. That husk
Oh, the
fight,
husk stuff,
you
yeah.
guys did not
Oh
realize
my
how
god.
scary that was because the moment any of you would have dropped, you guys would have resurrected as a husk, and your character would have been
Yarcy
in
was just
conflict.
flying up above like, I'm not at risk.
Fuck you! I'm not going down there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that one was innately really scary.
Mhm.
Um,
They have pack tactics, or they have a paralyzer prone, then keep slapping or something.
uh,
Yeah, multi-attack, I think, but I don't remember.
yeah.
Whoa.
They're super fast and they have multi-attack for zombies is kind of what it
Well, that
was.
and the like war cry or whatever guy would buff him up somehow.
Oh,
I forget.
yeah. Well,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
the leaders, yeah, they could make them attack more and do stuff. So,
Ooh.
but like anytime you ran into anything with husks, and you ran into the husks if you remember, even at the Oracle's hut.
Yeah,
That's where
but
you got
like
your
only
trinket.
like 3 of them or something, I think, versus
Yeah,
like the
but
8 or something at the,
yeah,
in
but
the
And
still,
we didn't know what they did at the time.
yeah.
We were just
yeah,
like la la la.
yeah. But that's
Silly
actually,
zombies.
but that I guess that's actually been kind of something that I've enjoyed being able to do, which you guys have encountered the same things over and over again, but I think it's just been kind of interesting in the way that they've been revealed to you guys. It's um there have been like some mechanical changes as well that I had to make with some things or something like changes on the fly. Uh, like with Burgie, I had to down tune some of the diseases that she could have given you guys because they were just been stupid. When I looked at them, I was like, these are way too over the top. Um, one of the potential diseases was you lose proficiency in all armor because like your skin starts to blister and you can't wear armor, and it's like
Yeah.
that just fucks everyone over. Like that's
Yeah,
not a
except for
fun.
CJ, I guess, but still.
Yeah, but still not a fun disease.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that negative hit point was a bitch too.
Yeah.
yeah,
The roach shit.
yeah, and that was actually you guys with that. You guys ran into the poor victim of that super early on, and you got
That
two
was my
items
other
to get.
question.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Wait, what
Yeah,
was it?
we had the first encounter in a sewer with the bugs, centipedes, and roaches, and
Mm-hmm.
then on our way out, there was a dead body. I think it looked
Oh.
like it'd been crushed by boulders.
Yep.
We just took 2 things off him and
Yeah,
ran
the
off.
band and then the prayer beads, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Fan and prayer
And then
beads.
a year later, in the break room, Adam's like, "Oh yeah, that was important." I'm like, "What the fuck?" There's a backstory to that. I'm like,
Like, you
"What?"
remember that from 10 months ago?
Yeah.
Mm,
You're like,
Oh,
no!
So
I did have
that
another question for you, Adam. When the Giants were throwing the boulders in or whatever it was, it seemed like some of them later on were intentionally placed in certain locations for the ceremony. Was that correct?
yes.
Okay.
So that's so going real quick. So the person that was crushed by the boulders and then picked clean by the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all didn't investigate the body. Um, yeah, they were someone that was sent to investigate what was happening.
Was it a
They
ground guard
were
person?
before that was before the guard guards.
Oh,
They were
before the ground
someone.
guard, okay.
They were an adventurer sent down there, and there was actually a. If you guys would have scanned the boards, there would have been a board for a missing adventurer.
No, we only
Um,
scanned for. I remember only scanning for
mhm.
Simon shit.
Yep,
oh,
and that's
oh
that was
yeah,
that was missed,
awesome.
and then
Okay, so we got to backtrack and tell Seb, hey, remember that?
Let's see if the sewer still exists.
Yeah, right. I mean, where Zarya was hanging out, so.
yeah,
Hey,
and then what was the other shit? See, it's tired, and so that was that, and then Dragnar. What did you say? You
I
About
said
said
the
diseases.
boulders. No, the
Oh, the
boulders.
boulders.
okay. So yeah. The boulders were set up intentionally for the ritual, and then something that I guess I failed to make. I don't know, visible, clear. I don't know what the right word is. Um, I guess we call it like one of the red herrings. That was when I did it was the Solvi War. All the boulders that were brought in and placed here had Solvi War, and all those boulders crossed over to the ethereal plane. Anything that didn't have the Solvi Ore didn't cross over. So it was just basically a tie between like the ethereal and the material, and that's why those were like the one-to-one ports, and why they were important. Because on the other side, if you remember when Dregnar peered over, it was super like radioactive, quote unquote.
I
mhm.
don't.
That's where a large portion of the energy was being channeled from.
Yeah, whenever I was running through fighting off the space spiders and I heard my brother.
Oh,
And then also when you went over
to get him.
on no, when you gave him the stone, and then he went over towards the end of this whole thing,
Oh yeah,
and it was just like super bright and like
yeah.
uncomfortable. That was really the manifestation of it. That all that extra energy that was just being built up. Um, yeah. So there's like little things. I mean, and obviously like some things I failed to depict properly, and I realize that like it's a lot. But what were some of the other things that y'all mentioned?
Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna crash. I gotta get up early in the morning.
Okay.
Oh, don't.
I'll talk to you guys
Alrighty,
later.
Later,
have a good one.
buddy. Good session. Thanks for the fun.
GG.
Later.
I'm still gonna be good. It's been
I got a little bit longer. Um, to piggyback off the last question, I remember the point when you did explain how the ore is what was connecting the boulder between the two realms. Um, what did were the runes added on afterwards? Is that how they got control of them? I think I missed that part, how that connects and everything.
Okay. So the boulders,
Yeah,
and you're talking about like the runes that would like kind of like float above them or whatever, or be part of them.
yeah. Because you said the
Yeah.
ore was the source of the power.
The the ore, yeah. So the solvent ore found inside of it, right, was essentially the connection point between the ethereal and forgive me, the ethereal and the material,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hags looked at it as it's a sign of their mother's influence, and that's like her will made manifest. Like that's where her blood spilled during the banishment process, and it kind of seeped over into both realms. Because I mean, their mother was a demigod, right? So somewhat very powerful entity,
Mm-hmm.
and they looked at it as like, ooh, this is a sign. Ooh, this is like, so that's why they were using it for the ritual. And in reality, yeah, it was somewhat powerful. I mean, it's a connecting point. It manages to bleed through two realms, so it is a unique substance. There's absolutely no denying that. But yeah, it was just meant to be kind of like not a plot device, but just something to show you that there is a connection between both the realms. Should you guys really need to feel like you needed to focus on it, I don't know like how far y'all would necessarily need to take it and run with it and roll with it, but it was an option
Mm-hmm.
too. So yeah, I
Okay.
definitely could have done. I know, like in that whole segment, I definitely could have done more to make it more alive and more interesting.
Did you ever think, or did you think we would try and pick off the hags one by one, or was it kind of always the idea that we would face them in like big fights?
I think you guys could have picked them off one by one,
I mean,
especially the
not for
the
lack of
early.
trying.
Yeah, I think especially the earlier ones, but you guys had already kind of made too much noise, so they were kind of aware of you guys and were defending themselves maybe more. I guess that's the way I would look at it.
All right, so
Like,
how surprised were you at the whole Jessica thing? Super
oh geez,
surprised or mega
yeah,
surprised?
Oh shit.
caught off guard surprise. No, legit, like I'm glad you guys had fun with it, but it was like something that I didn't really, yeah, no, like
Yeah, I
I
like that. That was fun.
I literally have to just kind of go that in itself is just an example of me completely going off of what you guys were
Well,
going
especially
off.
because like we literally were basically doing what the hags had done to them. Like we started like
Mm,
subverting
Yeah.
their shit.
Oh, fuck.
yeah. So, um,
Did you start asking yourself like, wait, do they know? Do they know that's what's happening?
it was weird. Like it was very just in the moment. It was very weird. Like
Of
it wasn't
course.
Are we
bad, but it was
Yeah,
just
of
like
course not.
are we the baddies?
Yeah, right.
if you ever have to ask yourself that, yes, you are the baddies.
Probably.
Shit.
Just remember that. Do I have to ask
I
myself
will
I'm not
say,
the
I don't
baddie?
think that our group really has had to ask themselves that. I mean, we did burn a
Mm,
bunch of shit first, but it was all like clearly subverted for other purposes and not cool.
yeah.
Mm.
No, I don't know. I think y'all have done. Frankly, I think y'all have done great. Like as a whole, as a group, not just saying like mechanically speaking, all that. Like the way that you approached. You guys have been consistent. Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay.
Trying to do better, make better. So I don't know. I think y'all are doing great. And but yeah, no, that whole going to that Jessica, like what's something that I had to completely just what the fuck and just
Yeah,
run with it? That'd be Jessica.
yeah.
Like That was completely player influenced and just, okay, I'm running with this. Let's go.
Guys, I got a tangent. This is our lives now. Wait, I changed my mind. Let's burn it.
It's
Go back to the
true.
original plan.
Oh god, yeah. Like, and then so I guess did you expect us to kill her off too?
No, like there was no expectations with that character.
Or like I should say,
How
like, did it just completely catch you off guard when we were like, yeah, let's just kill her off as like a martyr?
A
yeah,
martyr,
that was a
perfect.
little weird, but like I
But you get
mean,
it. It
I
makes
get
sense,
it.
kind of. It's just like, okay, that's an approach.
Yeah, exactly. That is actually how I would look at it. Like that is an approach. Okay, we'll go with it. And ultimately, all I really wanted to care about is that you guys had fun and that there isn't like this moment where there's like this blaring plot hole or because like obviously the story is not perfect. I'm sure I missed some things or had to manipulate something to make something make sense, but that's D&D. I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but like, yeah, no, that was Jessica was weird.
Well, excuse you. No.
No, you know what I mean. Like,
That's
and
In
it
a
was
good
like
way. Yeah,
weird to
weird
try
is
to
yeah,
not
yeah.
close
bad.
it out. Like
Mhm.
trying to close it out was weird because you guys were trying to get people to listen and follow, and you know, I want. I guess that in itself is an example of trying to help people leave the town is admirable and all, but I don't know.
Yeah, we
I
didn't know
don't
at the
know.
time that that was basically impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, give me a second.
Uh,
Anita's calling. I'm here. I'm just muted.
Yeah.
okay. I was almost gonna call it an arc, but I guess there's only like 2 episodes. But
No,
yeah,
no,
that
it
the
was
whole
more than
Jessica
that.
thing was
But I mean, it was, yeah, it was like 4 or 5, I think.
dang. Yeah.
Well, because remember, so at first, it was when we fought in the square, right? Like, and after the fire.
Yes, the fire. Yeah, yeah.
And did you just go out there already disguised? I actually don't remember. Or did you, like, hide
I
and
think
then
I was trying to
disguise?
hide within the crowd. Yeah.
Okay.
And then was Rock on top of a building
Rock was on a
getting
building
their
and Sedge was on
attention?
the building, too.
Yeah, I think I was in the crowd to gather information, something along those lines.
I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah. Me neither. No.
Yeah, right.
No. Okay, but yeah, that was a starting point then.
Yeah, so it was that, and then we kidnapped, what's her face? The vermin hag.
Oh yeah.
And then she escaped off the rooftop.
I think a
Uh,
couple buildings got damaged, so we gotta help out a little
yeah,
bit.
so like I said, so there was a little bit of time.
Okay. Four
Is that,
episodes sounds about right.
yeah, sounds about right.
I'm glad we did eventually get back to the city. I think I learned my disguise self while we were out in Necromancer's Tower. And I think I forgot about disguise self for a little bit when I
Oh, yeah.
first got back to town.
Well, it's not
It
that
was like,
useful when you're only surrounded by, like, baddies and nobody who could ever believe that you're anybody that's worth, ignoring.
hmm. But then the cult happened, and I was like, hey,
Hey,
I could be a follower for a day. I could be a leader for a day. That was a lot of fun.
yeah.
Uh, I'm probably gonna head out in a couple minutes, but I was gonna say I did like how Adam gave us the kind of the big finale with Jessica, where
Yeah.
I believe a hag actually showed up, and then there was like a quick little wizard battle. She's like, wounded, take me away.
Yeah, what? Actually, I don't remember who else. Yeah, yeah, one of the hacks showed up. It would have been not Blondie, not Zarya, the other one.
Is that just Furman? She's the last one. The
Oh yeah,
inner
yeah,
city
yeah. I guess
hags.
it was the Vermin. Yeah, the inner city X. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
The tree never came into play as much as we had hoped, but that makes a
No.
lot of sense with it being alive.
Well, and I still have. So I guess I could ask Adam when he gets back. But like I'll have to look it up. There's like some Dragonborn lady that I like bonded with when we were over on the west side of town. Like I bought some like an inkwell or something off of her. I don't remember. I'll have to look at my notes. I'm assuming that was also just a made up character that he made up on the fly, but maybe not.
It's always hard to tell. All you need is that list of names, and then
Right.
bam. I did get a message from Adam. He thinks Anita might be on the
Okay.
phone with him the whole way home.
All right.